The Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples, and there's a good reason for that. Only Sleep Number Smart Beds let you choose your ideal comfort and support on your side of the bed. Firmer or softer on either side. Sleep Number does that. Perhaps you want your side cooler, and your partner wants their side warmer. Sleep Number does that too. You choose what's right for you, making it the best bed for the both of you. The Sleep Number Smart Bed will even automatically respond and adjust to your movements to help you sleep comfortably all night long. Your smart bed will even learn how you sleep and provide you personalized insights to help you sleep even better. Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now, save 40% on the new Sleep Number Special Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
Dearest gentle listener, you are cordially invited to Go Touch Grass's first ever Tea Party Brunch event, taking place Saturday, May 3rd at 11 a.m. at Prince Tea House in the East Village for an afternoon of sipping tea, spilling guts, and generally lamenting the state of the world. This limited ticket event is reserved for the best of Grass Nation's Ton and will feature a full brunch with tea, a drag performance, exclusive goodie bags, and a special event curated by their Royal Highnesses, emphasis on the high, Millie Tamarez and Elise Morales, to help you process everything that's happened in 2025 so far in an Instagram-worthy environment you know you'll want to post to Grid. So, grab your besties, wear your florals, and snag your tickets to tea. Ticketing details available at patreon.com/GoTouchGrass. Ta-ta!
This is a HeadGum podcast.
You got mail.
Hi, I'm Millie Tamarez.
And I'm Elise Morales.
And this is Go Touch Grass, the podcast where we log in
So you can log off.
Elise and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can do literally anything else with your time.
Anything else? And if you like what you hear today and you want to hear more, we have a Go Touch Grass Patreon up and running with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. Our latest edition of the Patreon is a viral discourse of the now.
Of now.
Because Millie breaks down the bad baby Alabama Barker beef.
Yes.
And there are so many headlines that she reads in that you can't even possibly imagine what the details that will be laid out.
You can't map it out. And also, Bad Baby, truly somebody who took 15 minutes of fame and really did a lot with it.
And really took it to another level. Like the
American Dream.
Like you honestly kind of have to put respect on Bad Baby's name.
No.
For anyone listening who doesn't know, Bad Baby is Cash Me Outside Girl. You can learn all about that on the Patreon.
Yes.
That's almost, there's like a search history within it.
Yeah,
because of Cash Me Outside.
Deconstructing the Dr. Phil meme and leading to today where she's arguing with Kourtney Kardashian's stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Travis Barker's regular daughter.
Travis Barker's regular daughter. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love your reviews. We need more of them, but really the best review you can give us is to tell your friends, tag us in a little story. You know we're online. We will repost it.
We will.
I will say that the Bad Baby Alabama Barker beef came from a DM of one of our patrons saying, can you guys cover this?
Yeah.
And then when we covered it, she was like, thank you. And I'm like, it's all for you, man. And she's like, I know. And that's why I tell all my friends to listen to you.
And you know what? I'll say that today's Grasshole is something that we received several DMs and a TikTok comment saying this has to be addressed on the pod.
This has to be addressed on the pod.
All right. And as you know, 2025 is the year of Go Touch Grass on YouTube. People who are watching the YouTube this week will see that I'm in my Gen Z era. I have a pimple patchy.
Yeah, you do. A star-shaped one.
I have a star pimple patchy. You would never know listening to the audio that I have a star-shaped pimple patch on right now. But these are the things that you will learn if you subscribe to our YouTube page. Go watch them. Our audio episodes will always be out on Wednesdays, video episodes out on Saturdays, where you can get all of these juicy, juicy extras, like my juicy pimple that is being sapped of its life
juice. Yes,
right
stop
now.
talking about your pimple juice. Speaking of juice, we have our Sip and Spill tea party in New York City. We're having a full brunch tea service, gift bags, cathartic games about how crazy the world is, and an amazing drag show by incredible artist Sissy Bloom that is happening on May 3rd.
Beautiful.
So please, please, please.
Get those tickets. Get them because they're limited.
They're limited.
They're limited. Do we still have some left? We certainly do.
Yes.
Should you get them?
Yes.
You certainly should.
We want to see all our friends. But speaking of friends that we want to see, that we are going to see, that we haven't now.
Yeah, that my eyes are currently on this friend.
Our eyes are in the studio. We have with us queer comedian, musician, writer, former resident of gay hell, and current leader of gay church, Tessa Skara.
Hello, it's true. I'm Tessa. Hi.
Yay. Tessa, we're just huge fans. Talk to us about your musical comedy. What about musical comedy attracted you to it most? Why do you do it? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, just the deepest questions possible, you know? I love musical comedy. I think that there's been like a long history of like gay men doing musical comedy and not as many of lesbians.
The Randy Rainbow.
Right? Margaret Cho, it gets to be, is an honorary, well, she is a lesbian.
She is a lesbian. She's bi. She's
a bisexual lesbian, and I won't unpack that. I won't explain that for straight people.
Okay, and
she is a
don't have
bisexual
to.
lesbian, and she is an amazing musical comedian. But yeah, I love musical comedy because I'm fucking good at music and I'm fucking funny.
You studied, did you study musical?
I studied musical theater.
In college?
Yeah, I studied musical theater in college at NYU, where I got told that I should only play Lori in Oklahoma.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
What does that mean to the plebes?
That means like that I should only be playing the ingenue woman who has like no jokes. Like I literally had an evil gay man in college tell me that I was quote unquote too pretty to be funny, which I'll take now. I'll take now.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a thing that it's so funny because that was such a thing that like only ugly people or only fat people can do comedy, which I do kind of understand of like, when you aren't conventionally what people think is attractive, you work harder on your personality to develop it in a way. So I understand that, like, people saying that, like, where that comes from. But now we've turned it on its head, and it's like, hot people are trying to be funny, they want to be funny, and are funny, too.
Hey, hot people have their own trauma, too. Okay?
Tell me about hot people.
Hashtag wasn't always hot. Hashtag got made fun of, was weird, had to be the class clown.
Yeah.
Okay? Went through puberty, totally changed.
Wow.
Suddenly hot.
I do think hot for your entire life.
Bad.
That there are struggles to becoming a comedian from that perspective. But I do also think, especially with women and when men were like all of the gatekeepers, which now they're like 99.999% of the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
If they see a hot woman making a joke, their assumption is that she doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Like even though she's making the joke,
literally.
their assumption is that she doesn't get it. I saw this. Someone said this on Twitter recently. Shout out to someone on Twitter.
Well,
that women are never taken seriously unless they're making a joke, and then they're taken dead fucking seriously, and they're like, "Wow, so that's what you really mean?" And it's like, "No, I was joking. I was making a little joke, a little haha."
I watched Good Burger, which honestly really fucking funny, slapstick. It does a lot. But Carmen Electra is in the original Good Burger.
Yep.
And I always remembered her as like a vixen, a dumb bimbo, whatever. And when I'm watching her, I'm like, she is so funny. She's giving extremely physical, hilarious. It's just like hot women aren't given the same accolades as like a schlubby guy.
Not at all. And honestly, like for the viewers that can't see me right now, like I'm butch now. I'm non-binary realness, but when I used to be really femme, I would get so many weird like microaggressions from men where like I literally won an award from Comedy Central and another comedian who I will not name came up to me and introduced me to somebody else and introduced me as a student of the craft.
What?
And I was like, I just actually beat you.
Yeah, I actually just won
So
an
how
award.
am I a student
Well,
and you're a teacher? Because you're like fucking 2 years older than me and a man. Like,
yeah, no, that's just always gonna. There's a part when I teach comedy, I have to be like, hey, so I'm your teacher. Your teacher is a woman and a woman of color. And like, I'm just gonna name it here because I am gonna be giving you notes and you're gonna have to process that on your own time because I'm the teacher.
Yeah,
because people
100%.
can't,
Take whatever 10 minutes you need before logging into our class Zoom to like get your mind right, or buy a stress ball that you can squeeze off screen as you receive notes from a Black woman. But that is kind of what the class is going to be.
literally what you signed up for.
That's what you signed up for.
You actually paid me to give you these notes.
So the reason why you do musical comedy is because you're good at music. Oh, spite.
Is
Spite and talent?
Spite and talent. No, those are perfect reasons to do anything. My question for you is, as you've started to post your comedy, your songs online, you have your latest single, I'm Not Depressed.
Yeah. I'm not depressed. I just never want to leave my house.
Have you noticed a difference in reception between when you post things online versus like when you're performing them live?
Oh my God, absolutely. I just have noticed like a huge difference in the reception since the inauguration. Like I've noticed a huge algorithm shift, and I'm not the only queer creator that has noticed this, that like all of a sudden my work is getting fed actually more to people that hate me than people that like my usual audience. I'm having friends be like, oh, I didn't see your video until it was posted for like 5 days. But I'm getting like homophobic comments on that video.
Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I so see what you're saying. And I feel like this goes to something that I was chatting with you about this weekend where I was like, because I lurk on the Go Touch Grass Twitter.
Mhm.
I don't have one of my own anymore, but I'm lurking. And I've realized I have to pull way back because I'm constantly being served content from conservative people that is designed to like anger and upset me.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh, this algorithm has taken a really dark and scary turn. And now that all of these tech platforms, fucking Meta, TikTok, all of them are, posting like, thank you, President Trump. Like they're at the inauguration.
Let me suck your dick, President Trump. Like literally, it's disgusting.
I feel like they're all starting to cater to a conservative audience, whether it be serving me vile shit that I would never choose to see. I would never follow someone who, based on this tweet I'm seeing from them, is evil.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to follow this person. So it's that. And then also them trying to basically like run you off the platform or just serve your content to conservative people so they can get riled up and mad about it too, and it keeps them there and then also runs queer people off the platform. That's really interesting.
It's absolutely crazy. Like I've started getting comments on videos from like 3 years ago almost every single day.
Wow.
From random conservative people telling me that I should go to hell, die, stuff like that. And that's totally fine. But then, like, if I comment on anything, like, I self-describe as a dyke. Like, that's a word that I would use to describe myself. And I literally almost lost my Instagram account like a year ago because I posted photos from the Dyke March and said, at the Dyke March.
Yeah.
And they found those a year later and tried to take away my account. And because I have a check mark, I, like, fought back with them.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm getting in trouble for hate speech for attending the Dyke March and saying that I went there, but people are telling me that I should like burn in hell and die, and they're not getting kicked
and
off.
that's totally fine.
To be fair, a bunch of sweaty lesbians marching down Fifth Avenue is hell to a lot of people.
True.
Which is the Dyke March.
I've been to hell, babe, and I loved it.
You've been to hell and you've loved it. I will also say that, yes, I tell Elise my mantra to deal with that is anything that I see online that upsets me is AI.
Oh, I literally think that all the time. I'm like,
it's
that's a
not
bot.
real.
That's a bot.
It's a bot. Like this is whatever. And also, this has made me, I look through immediately who follows me. I just do a quick cursory view of my page because if there's a lot of stuff about pro-America, Trump, all that stuff, I block them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not going to, because I know that they're waiting for me. Their only purpose in following me is not because they're interested to see what I have to do. They're interested in my work. They want to support me, which is what a follower
What it's supposed to be.
is supposed to be. It's literally to wait till I fuck up in a specific way or say something that they don't like so that they can put me on the front page of whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And you're not going to fucking do that.
You won't
Literally.
be getting me.
You won't be
No, you
getting
won't be
me.
getting me
At least
either.
you won't. Somebody else might. But
Yeah.
and it's tough. Like, it's tough because it's not enough that you say something that they don't like once. They're going to go, which, I mean, I guess both sides, like, you know, on the other side, we do it too. But it's like, they're going to find like the most unflattering picture of you from 7 years ago and like clown you on it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
They're going to go into your tag. I know my tagged photos aren't private, but they should be private, and it is wrong to go into the tag.
Yeah,
No,
it's wrong.
sometimes I do that because guys don't post their partners, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking see who
See if
you're
she tagged.
Yeah, see if she's tagged. And if there's not even a tag photo of this bitch, you're evil and you're setting up an infrastructure to cheat. I will not unpack that further.
Well, that's a different issue than what I'm talking about.
issue.
I'm saying that if you want to clown me for my looks, going into the tagged photos is wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, tag photos is
Going
wrong.
into the tagged photos is wrong. As a method of research
Yes,
and discovery,
it's the
the
best.
tagged photos one simply
beautiful.
must.
Are
One simply
needed.
must.
So I also have to say, in the effort of transparency and to kind of building off the conversation we had last week with Chandler, Randy Rainbow was brought up, and I am also blocked by Randy Rainbow.
I actually don't know who Randy Rainbow is.
Exactly.
I'm
so,
Canadian, so I'm
yeah.
allowed to have like
No,
wild
it's
cards like
okay.
that I don't know.
He's like a white gay covfefe anti-Trump. Like, he does parody songs.
Yeah, I would say he's like Gen X.
Gen X. Yeah.
He does like liberal parody songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would
the
say-
most lazy liberal parody songs.
I don't know if he's done this, but he would do a like 525,600 minutes till Trump is out of office. And
Yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah. I'm like, I am 100% sure that he has done exactly that.
I'm like,
Um,
I don't know if that's coming from a place of me having seen that, but if he hasn't done it, it would shock me to my core.
Yeah.
If he hasn't done a rent parody for how long until Trump is out.
He has. But yes, I'm blocked.
Wow. Badge of honor right there. But
I
like,
know. He blocked a lot of queer comedians and me in one
and
day.
you always get
I
lumped in
always
with the
get
queer
lumped in.
comedians. I
Whatever.
can attest, Millie is an honorary queer
Yes.
comedian.
That's what I say. I'm queer passing. I'm a part of queer culture.
True.
I'm just not queer. But, you know, whatever.
Isn't that what Darren Criss said?
Yeah, but
Isn't that exactly how Darren Criss
yes,
described
exactly.
himself?
But
As
also
culturally queer.
culturally queer, but also, I mean, but to be fair, Darren Criss is a theater kid who was in Glee and like
And I think he's played gay a couple
he's
times.
played gay famously in Glee, yeah.
And in the Gianni Versace.
No, in
American-
Hollywood too. He's played gay a lot. The Hollywood show on Netflix.
Oh,
about
that I
old-timey
haven't seen, but
Hollywood.
there was
seen
the
that.
murder of Gianni Versace, the Ryan Murphy show, and he plays Andrew Cunanan,
Yeah.
the murderer in that. So he's played gay a couple
They just
times.
love to get straight guys to play gay. They love
Yeah.
to have straight people play gays. And you know what? There's enough of us out here.
Yeah,
Not
but I
working.
will say that, you know, I would never take a gay role. There might be someone better, but I feel like I do a good job at the Queen Latifah life story.
You would do
The
that. I was going to
biopic?
say, you can do that.
I could do
You can do that.
Biopic.
Casting
Anyway,
director.
I do have to say, like, my biggest fear always, like, hearing the Randy Rainbow shit is, like, that's what people think that I'm doing when I do musical comedy. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, so
Tessa, I
fucking lame.
promise you.
But it's not.
There's
Check
no
it out,
way.
because it's not.
There's-
I mean, just like there is a level of campiness and whatever that's just inherent in musical, and that's
Yeah.
what makes it fun. But your subject matter, which you can talk more about, is about your life being queer. I mean, why don't you talk about some of the
Oh,
work and how
yeah.
is it different from Randy Rainbow?
Yeah. I
Before
mean,
we go on, let's
I
defend
like to think
yourself
of myself,
now.
well, I started doing comedy through doing stand-up comedy. And that's how I got into musical comedy. And my big thing going into musical comedy was that I always wanted to take like the principles of stand-up into musical comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many musical comedians that like don't pack enough jokes. They don't have a strong perspective.
Yeah.
They repeat themselves too much and then the song isn't funny anymore. It's just the same thing over and over again. And I really didn't want to do that. I kind of go towards like, I like to think of myself as like a comedian who's a singer-songwriter because I'm mostly performing things about my own life, but I'm trying to do it in like a musical way that speaks to me as a musician who loves rock music and played in bands. Like even though I went to musical theater school, I literally left musical theater school after 2 years because I quote unquote like didn't know enough about music, which was that I didn't know enough about like classical music.
Yeah.
Like I was in bands in high school. Like I like cool music,
And you make
for lack of a better
original
word.
songs.
Yeah, and I make original songs.
You don't just parody like songs that already.
No, I like never ever do that unless it's a live show, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, my like latest song is called Not Depressed, and it's about how I'm not depressed, I just never want to leave my house. And it's kind of an anthem for, I feel like, everyone in America right now who has like a conscience and empathy.
Not depressed, I just never want to leave my house.
Because the vibes are bad outside, but also I wrote it like while I was going through a really bad bout of chronic illness. I have like an autoimmune disorder that made me really sick from like April until December and like in pain every day. And I would like sing that song to myself all the time just as like a funny thing to sing. And then I was like, no, actually, this is funny and I need to share this with people. Yeah.
If it lives in your mind for that long,
Yeah,
you're like,
you have
no,
to
there's
share it.
something here.
That's my rule too, is like if I remember it like 3 weeks later, then like, okay, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny is like I have a lot of songs about being gay. Like I have a song called Gay and Boring that actually I'm going to be releasing an album in June that's called Gay and Boring. And I have like a professional, like I recorded it with a band in my friend's studio. It's amazing. But I have like some kind of demo recordings online. And like that type of video is the shit that I get like crazy homophobic people like writing on, even though it's literally about how like I used to be fun when I was straight and now I'm gay and I watch Dateline. Like it's so like innocuous and like not at all like even sexy or like I'm not inundating your children into anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about laying on the couch and how sad that is. Like, your kids don't want to be me.
But they're doing that as straight people, so that's why they hate you.
Yeah. But it's so weird because, like, the Not Depressed video, because that's not about being gay, Instagram, like, wasn't sharing that with people very much because it doesn't make them mad.
Yeah.
But then TikTok, like, people on TikTok love it. It's, like, done really well on TikTok. So I've just been noticing that as I've been rolling out the music video over the last month. Like, Instagram, when I post something that's about being gay, it goes to, like, many, many thousands of people immediately, and 50% of the comments are homophobic.
Yeah.
If I post something that's not about being gay, it like is kind of drawing it in. Like,
Yeah.
it's not sharing it with people because I'm not making them mad.
Yeah, the
Wow.
Instagram algorithm is one of the
It's dark.
trickiest and weirdest to try to figure out, and which is frustrating because as we've talked about on the show, like TikTok, you kind of are performing for strangers in a way, even if people follow you. Whereas Instagram, that is what I use to get out information about like shows I have, things that I'm doing. And they don't see jack shit on my
No,
Instagram.
they want you to do a broadcast channel. It's time for our discourse. Guys, get ready for a roller coaster.
Oh, I'm ready.
Today's discourse has been all over my Twitter, my TikTok FYPs. It's like really like dominated all platforms in like the Black segmented discussion FYPs. And it's emblematic of so many conversations. And it's about Halle Bailey and DDG. Elise, Tessa, do you know these people?
I certainly know Halle Bailey.
Me as well.
Ariel.
Yeah.
I know her sister Chloe. I know they're like
Beautiful
like,
harmonies.
Beautiful. I like acolytes of Beyonce kind of. Like that she brought them in that she was like a mentor to the two of them. And then DDG I know as Halle Bailey's the father of her kid.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to get into it.
Okay.
So, again, this podcast is for people who may not know any of these people. Halle Lynn Bailey, also known as Halle, is an American singer-songwriter. She first became known as one half of the musical duo Chloe and Halle with her sister Chloe Bailey. She was born on March 27, 2000, so she's almost 25, guys.
so young.
I know. She was born in Mableton, Georgia, and she has an older sister, Sky Bailey, born in 1991, and Chloe Bailey, born in 1998.
Oh, I thought
And
they were twins for some reason.
I
I
thought they were
twins
too.
for a long time, but they're not. There's a little,
It's
there's a
giving
2-year
twins.
age
Yeah.
gap.
Imagine being the older sister and having nothing to do with the family business. That's crazy.
Well, the older sister comes back in this story.
Okay. Put a pin in Sky.
There's a younger brother born 2005. Chloe and Halle began writing their own songs, learning to play instruments through watching YouTube tutorials. They began writing songs at 8 and 10. Chloe and Halle started their own YouTube channel at the ages of 9 and 13, respectively, and they used to cover Beyonce songs. The first one was a cover of Best Thing I Never Had. Love that song. Then their video, the first video that went viral was a cover of Beyonce's track Pretty Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Great track.
Yeah, it's a great track. The duo made their talk show debut on Famous Lesbian, The Ellen Show in April 2012.
Oh, they're ripe for an Ellen appearance at
Yes.
that time.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
little girls who sing and they're on YouTube. Come on now.
Yeah,
Ellen's gonna be like,
exactly.
"What you doing over there?"
You're headed straight for Ellen
Yes.
at that time.
You're gonna awkwardly dance with Ellen for sure.
In 2013, the Bailey sisters won season 5 of Radio Disney's The Next Big Thing, and then making a cameo appearance in a Disney series, Austin and Ally performing the song Unstoppable. In May 2015, both sisters were in talks to sign on with Parkwood Entertainment. Parkwood, which was founded by Beyonce, finally signed them in 2016 for a 5-year contract, becoming Beyonce's first musical successors. So they are Beyonce prodigies. So Chloe and Halle released the albums The Kids Are Alright and Ungodly Hour, and together have earned 5 Grammy nominations. In 2023, Bailey released her debut solo single, Angel, which was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best R&B Song. As an actress, Bailey starred in the television sitcom Grownish, and in 2023, she had her first lead role as Ariel in the Disney musical fantasy film The Little Mermaid, and a supporting role in the musical film The Color Purple.
Famously, she
Mhm.
was Ariel.
She was Ariel, and that pissed a lot of people off. So, again, we're getting attached to Disney, true artist, true star. I would say celebrity. Like, usually we share people's social media followings, and she has a big one, but it's kind of like beyond just because she's not an influencer. She's an actual
She's
singer,
talented.
actress. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would say that she's maybe not an A-list celebrity at this point, but she's certainly on the trajectory
For
to
A-list.
be an A-list celebrity. And I just think, not to even get into all the crazy Little Mermaid discourse that was
Yeah,
created.
put a pin in Little Mermaid.
Discourse. But it is funny because she actually is so perfectly Disney princessified.
Yeah.
Like her look, she has like big eyes, big smile, that kind of like wide-eyed Disney princess look. And then her voice is so crystal clear,
And high.
beautiful, and like youthful
Yeah.
that it is just funny to me that anyone would be pissed about her casting in a Disney movie, because it's like, no, she's literally a Disney princess. She has
Okay.
it all.
All right, good. This is a good basis. So that's Halle. Let's talk about DDG.
Okay.
And his name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr.,
Okay.
which is, I think that's a really funny name. Professionally known as DDG, he's an American YouTuber and rapper. He was born in Pontiac, Michigan, and he attended the International Tech Academy, where he was class valedictorian. After graduating from high school, Daryl enrolled at Central Michigan University, where he later dropped out. Basically, he was big on YouTube, and when he dropped out of college because he was making $30,000 a month being a YouTuber. After dropping out of Central Michigan University, he moved to Hollywood to become a full-time entertainer. In 2018, Granberry signed with Epic Records and co-founded his own Zooted Music. His 2020 single, Moonwalking in Calabasas, remix featuring Blueface, entered the Billboard Hot 100, receiving double platinum certification by the Record Industry Association of America. So
I've never felt older hearing that.
Yeah.
Sorry, moonwalking in Calabasas.
Also
and apparently
zooted
it's
music.
popular,
Yeah,
and
zooted.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, no, I actually never heard of it too. Anyway, so DDG is just like YouTuber / rapper. So this is what it's giving. He did a boxing event in 2021 at the YouTubers versus TikTokers event.
They're always
TikTok.
boxing each
They're
other,
always
these
boxing
boys.
each other.
Fucking
These-
gladiators of the 21st century. It's
Yeah.
I know. I'm
insane.
like, why are you guys always fighting like this? It's really weird.
He released a bunch of songs that entered the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at 82. And on June 16th, 2021, DDG was fan voted on the 10th spot for the 2021 XXL freshman list. And the XXL freshman list is like, that's just a list that comes out every year. That's like, here are the best 10 rappers of this year.
I know about this. Don't they have like one seat only for the fans or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the fans get to, like, their board gets to pick, like, based on musical and like promising whatever.
And then one for popularity.
And then one
Yeah.
for popularity.
Mhm.
On February 18th, 2022, DDG released his single Elon Musk, which featured American rapper Gunna. According to an interview with Complex Magazine, the single was a nod to DDG's admiration for the multi-billionaire business magnate and entrepreneur Elon Musk, as well as their similar interests with space travel.
That's how he got Grimes too. We talked about it. He keeps getting these musicians in with the space travel.
DDG was the first rapper to shoot a music video with NASA's zero gravity trading emulating a space mission.
Where's the government waste and efficiency right now?
Well,
I'm like, what?
yeah, he filmed a music video at the National Training Camp.
Okay. Did he get to do the thing where he like gets to float in zero gravity? And
I'm
stuff?
sure. I didn't watch.
I mean, it would be crazy to not.
Yeah, I think
If
that's the
I'm
whole
there,
point.
I'm doing it.
It's the zero gravity training.
Yeah.
So I think he did.
I've heard a lot of people throw up immediately from that.
Well, we could watch the music video.
He just pukes immediately.
They cut it out.
I'm gonna puke reading the Elon Musk thing.
Yeah, me too.
But we'll get back to that. He released the second album in 2022. That's called It's Not Me, It's You. Featuring a bunch of like rappers. In 2022, DDG had made the Forbes 2023 30 under 30 list for music.
Oh?
And I would say, and maybe because I've never gotten Forbes 30 under 30, if you're cool and I like you, it's a huge accomplishment. But now there's so many there's 30 under 30 in tech. There's 30 under 30 music. There's 30 under 30 art. Like, it's just like,
There's too many.
There's too
under
many-
30s. Yeah.
and now we're talking about, you're just picking 200 people under 30 years old that do kind of something. Anyway.
It's literally like the top 30 people who hired a publicist.
Exactly. I mean, that's really it.
Fully.
DDG has 7 million followers on Instagram, 4 million subscribers on YouTube, and probably a bunch on TikTok. So that's DDG.
Okay.
So thoughts on DDG's career and all his stuff?
Sounds like a little shit.
Sounds like a little shit.
Yeah, it's like I can't, I'll reserve some judgment to say I haven't heard the music. So
No.
I'm not going to be like, oh, he sucks because like I don't actually know. But I will say that if we're comparing him to Halle Bailey, it seems like a certain different level of legitimacy music-wise. And I do find it troubling to have admiration for Elon Musk
Yeah.
to the degree that
It's a red flag, right?
huge red flag.
To not only have that admiration, but like record a whole single about it. Like it's huge pick me energy. It's
Yeah.
like, sorry, like you're just insecure and you want some like big nerd to say that you're cool too.
I
like
know, I'm
Yeah,
just like,
put a pin in
Yeah.
that. Put a pin in that.
I fucking hate
Okay.
Elon Musk so much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, today I was like looking for this episode. I was going through because I bookmark a lot of stuff throughout the week so that when we're doing research for what to pick, I look through like all the things. Can I tell you, on desktop, on mobile, could not load. And I'm like, Twitter at all. Like couldn't load. I couldn't get my bookmarks. I couldn't see the timeline on desktop and on mobile because Android mobile, like I've resigned that a lot of apps just don't work because people are fucking shitty to Android owners. That's a whole other thing.
Android discrimination.
Android
We're against.
discrimination. But Like, if there's a bug on an Android app, like, a lot of places won't even fix it because they're like, no one cool has it. Don't even get me started. But then for it to not work on desktop, I'm just like, Twitter has markedly in every single way and every single metric become worse.
Yeah, 100%.
The Tesla stock is tanked. That was going to be another whole thing. People are lying, like re-putting logos on their cars to say that's not Tesla because they're embarrassed to get shit thrown at it.
Yeah.
And then the stock, people are losing millions of dollars because I'm just like, who at this point is celebrating Elon? I mean, this is from a long time ago, but you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
when did the song
The
come
song come on 2022. So it was before Elon Musk had a coup full of hentai, like watching 19-year-olds. But
Before he did a Nazi salute on
before
stage.
he did a Nazi salute.
And then
but-
said he didn't know anything about Nazi salutes and then went and spoke at a Nazi party in Germany.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I could go on.
Yeah, but this isn't about.
It's not about him being an Nazi.
We're
We have
talking
a whole
about-
segment on him called What the Musk, where we revisit him. He's, I think, in the Grasshole Hall of Fame, where it's just like we can't even choose him because he's just constant.
He
It's
can't
been
even
forever.
So now let's talk about DDG and Halle Bailey's
Yeah, what's going on there?
relationship timeline. So in 2020, DDG dated female rapper Ruby Rose, Ruby with an I, not Ruby with a Y. Ruby with a Y is a lesbian, kind
I
of.
was gonna say, I thought.
I
Yeah.
think she's a lesbian.
She's an actor.
and an actor.
And an actor.
Ruby
She
with
played
an-
Batwoman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she like fucked up her back playing it. Anyway, Ruby with an I, they dated for 1 year and they broke up in 2021. And just so you know, Ruby Rose Benton, Ruby Rose, she's an American rapper, video vixen, and internet personality. And she gained recognition in 2016 because she was one of the girls in the Migos Bad and Bougie music video. So that's a whole other drama, but we'll just say that. Now let's go to Halle and DDG. So in January 2022, the couple was first spotted together at an Usher concert.
Very
Amazing.
sexual place to be.
Very
Literally.
sexual.
Very sexual.
I went to see Usher in the residency. It was really good. It was really
In Las
good.
Vegas?
In Las Vegas.
Oh,
And then I went to the after party, not an exclusive one, just like the official one. And Neil was there, and it was crazy.
Oh my God, my middle school self is like sliding
it
on
was
the couch
good.
right
Me
now.
and all the black women over 40 and 50 were having it.
Freaking out.
The only thing I've ever heard about an Usher concert is that it's an incredibly sexually charged environment. So
Yeah, it really is, and it covers all bases, and that's a whole put a pin in that. So yeah, there was footage of them sitting together. DDG was drinking, Bailey was looking on the stage, it was cute. And then Usher shared photos to his Instagram story where they were like appeared together. The same month, DDG posted a vlog titled, "I took her on an underwater date," that showed him scuba diving with an unidentified woman. Many at the time speculated it was Bailey in the video, but no one confirmed.
wow. And Disney watched and they said, this unidentified woman looks amazing in the water.
Yeah.
She's swimming, she's flipping her fins and she's getting so far.
Then in March 27th, 2022, the pair make their relationship Instagram official.
Oh, wow.
DDG confirmed that he and Bailey were together when he gave the singer a 22nd birthday shout out on Instagram. So it was a hard launch with a birthday carousel of photos of them together. And the caption said, "Happy birthday to the beautifulest, the flyest, the sweetest, heart, love you forever, longing face, diamond." Like the teary-eyed, like longing face.
I use that emoji all the
Diamond.
time. It's the one that's smiling and then has like little tears in its eyes.
yes.
I use that guy all the time.
There's photos and videos of them together, including one of DDG placing a large studded necklace bearing the name Halle on her neck. Bailey posted in the comments, "You will make me cry again." So that was in March, like on her birthday. Then they start going to red carpets together in June and August. And then in August, she confirms that he slid into her DMs and that's how they got together. And she was familiar with DDG from his YouTube days because she was on YouTube. He was on YouTube at the same time.
Yeah.
And she's been a fan of his for years. She says, "I grew up being on YouTube and would always see the young black creators and was constantly inspired by them. He was one of them." If we talk about like influencers and YouTubers in 2015, and then we talk about even the smaller segment of black influencers, like he was one of the top ones. In October of 2022, Halle posted a compilation video for DDG's birthday of their various adventures and dates. And she captioned it, happy birthday at DDG. Love you forever. So that's October 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to February 2023. DDG and Ruby Rose were feuding online after Rose tweeted a subliminal at DDG. So apparently what happened is DDG and Halle were pictured together, and Halle was wearing a t-shirt that Rose said, "That's my fucking shirt." Rose then doubled down by writing in a since deleted tweet, "I like Halle. DDG a weirdo though, for sure." And then DDG was like denying it and whatever. And then Halle posted a screenshot of her Twitter DMs with DDG. So she tweeted.
So Ruby Rose posted this?
Ruby Rose posted, and she said, "This is why I'm single." And it's a screenshot of him saying, are you still in LA? And she says, "Yeah." And then he's like, WYO, which I guess, where you at? Or
where you out?
Where you out? And
no
she
idea.
said, "Getting ready. How about you? You hitting me the day y'all argue is so you." Basically saying that it was the day that him and his girlfriend argued and he's hitting her up. And then he goes, "LOL, you right. Let me go heal first." And then whatever.
Let me go heal first that is one of the things I might take that. You know, let me go heal first.
Let me go heal first. He responds and says that this screenshot wasn't real. The situation escalated from there with them trading shots on Twitter. At one point, DDG called Rose a, quote, wannabe Ice Spice, and Halle even reportedly chimed in a now deleted tweet that said, "The devil is working. LOL. Please don't feed into the lies, especially from a third party. Stay blessed, everyone."
The devil.
Exactly.
The devil is working.
The devil is working. So a tweet by DDG sent the internet on fire after some people believe he was shading Halle because, you know, the couple was going strong for a strong time. They're going strong. And then he tweeted, like after this exchange, he tweeted, "All these girls are the same," causing a firestorm of reactions. This is when I feel like the public already was skeptical about Halle getting with DDG. They're like, this guy is kind of like a loser, whatever. But then after this whole thing about the DMs, it goes super viral. The public really, really does not root for it. Everyone's kind of hating on him.
This is where I remember, I think, first hearing about him and like becoming aware of him, because I remember seeing a bunch of people talking about how Halle Bailey was either like dating or entangled with this guy who they felt like was a loser, like you said.
Everyone's saying that he's very messy and it doesn't match up with the wholesome image of Halle, who again is on a different, as y'all said, which I agree is different tier and is professional, and that's not how her family was even raised. The controversy cited a reaction from Sky Bailey, Halle's older sister. So let's watch.
First thing in the morning, I see my sister on the blogs, and it's over some dude. Daryl, DDG, like, bro, what's wrong with you? Halle's not like the ones that you've been with. You will not treat her the way that you've treated these others. I don't give a freak if y'all had issues going on. That's what you won't do. Please understand that. Like, you're not going to do her the way that you did everybody else. You're not going to come to social media and try to put her on blast and insinuate or put out something to make it seem like she was doing something that she wasn't doing. You need to pipe down and get yourself together. If y'all broke up, then you need to just unfollow and just keep it pushing. You don't have to put nothing out there like that about all these girls is the same. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Okay.
Big sister energy right
there. I will also say, beautiful family.
Yeah.
They're putting some beautiful women out into the world, this Bailey family.
Yeah. That happened because he said all these girls are the same, and it kind of implied that Halle was cheating. So then the sister came on and said that. And then right after said, actually, my bad. I talked to Halle, like, let me just mind my own business and not say anything. So Halle said something to her.
And at this point, it hasn't been like confirmed whether or not they have broken up or anything like that.
Nothing
like,
has been confirmed.
People just assumed that from that tweet.
From that tweet that he said all women are the same.
Categorically untrue, but
especially when one is a Disney princess, like
literally.
At the end of the day, is everyone's life worth the same? Of course, etc. But like we've been saying, Halle Bailey is in a different tier of girl. She's not just a YouTuber. She's not just like kind of like a C-B tier singer.
Yeah.
She's fucking Ariel in the Little Mermaid movie. She's Beyonce's Beyonce daughter. Like, it's a different deal and it's a different level. And also, like, my guess would be, and it's kind of bolstered by this idea that Halle talked to her sister after, that the PR team that is around Halle Bailey is also really, really different.
So the PR team too, but also Halle seems to very publicly at this point be like, especially with the devil comment, it's just like she's all for this guy. She's doubled down and no one can say anything. And again, the fans are like, this guy's a fucking loser. He sucks. Back away. You're dating a bum. And so that happens. This whole DM controversy happens on the first week of February 2023. And then on February 14th, he releases a video and he says, this is the caption, all that hating on DDG just for you to be all caps alone today. And he quote said, no one loves you. And that was a message to his haters. The post came out on Valentine's Day. And then Halle wrote, best V-Day ever. On Wednesday morning.
It is funny to use your Valentine's Day post instead of celebrating your extremely beautiful girlfriend.
Literally.
To use it to be like, and fuck my haters. It's like, just...
And I hope you die alone.
Yeah. You're alone and like, what do you even know about love because you're a fucking loser? Yeah, that's what I just think.
It's like, it's Valentine's Day. Just, you could actually communicate that message in a better, classier, stronger way by just posting a picture of your smoking hot girlfriend.
Literally.
Well, so April 2023, Halle has an interview with British Vogue where she says, there's a lot of eyes on me now, especially with what's to come. I think this is after she was announced that she was Ariel. There's a lot of eyes on me now, especially with what's to come. And sometimes I wish I didn't have so many eyes on me, especially experiencing something like this for the first time, which I think is like experiencing love, you know?
Ooh.
And on her relationship with DDG, she said, experiencing deep love for the first time in my life is something I feel has opened a whole new world for me creatively. What it feels like to love someone other than your family, like someone you may not have known 2 years ago, but now they're the center of your world, she continued, is incredible.
Wow.
So it's so sweet, right?
So she's down bad.
She's down
for this
bad.
man.
And let's see what he has to say. In June 2023, DDG dropped the song Famous, which was met immediately with backlash from fans. The lyrics describe DDG's insecurities with Bailey's career, namely her work on The Little Mermaid. Ariel, which is Bailey, and Eric kiss once in the PG-rated picture.
Famously at the behest of many animals.
Yes.
They literally have like a Disney kiss, which is like not even a human kiss, you know?
So this is his lyric. I'm trying to figure out what we gonna do, how we gonna get to the top. Filming a movie, now you kissing dudes. The lyrics read. And then quotes, and this is another one. You know I love you a lot. I don't give a fuck if that's shit for promo. I don't want to see this shit no more. Why is y'all holding hands in the photo? You know I'm insecure. That's a no-no. And this... This is seemingly referencing referring to the fact that Bailey held hands with the guy who played Eric at the London film premiere.
Oh, God.
No.
Burn her at the stake. Oh, my
Elsewhere,
God.
She's playing Ariel in Little Mermaid. That's so crazy. There's one of the most famous songs in Little Mermaid is about them kissing.
Elsewhere on the track, DDG raps, the hardest thing I ever did was fall in love with the famous bitch.
Oh.
Bitch.
How dare he call her a bitch?
I mean,
Hey.
you have to say, like, bitch, I will say
It's new.
it's a different it's a different connotation, and I would say it's kind of like dude in some ways. It's still degrading and not great, but like I would say he doesn't mean that means something different. But
I still feel like it's if you're with her currently.
Yeah.
Oh no. What I'm getting so far is I'm getting jealous. I'm getting petty.
Yeah.
I'm getting too young for her. I'm getting immature.
And he's older than her.
Oh, I don't doubt that. But I mean, like, emotionally, in the head, he's a baby boy.
To have a problem with the level of romance that is in a Disney live action remake, which is a single kiss.
Yeah.
Which is also like 50% CGI.
Yes.
Like they might not have even actually been touching.
Yeah.
We don't know.
They got the balls on their face.
Yeah, we don't know.
Like, it is wild to feel anything but intense pride.
Yeah.
Not just for your girl, but for yourself. You're like, my girlfriend is Ariel. One of the most iconic Disney princesses of all time. Top tier Disney princess. That's my girl. To feel anything other than super stoked about that is crazy. And to feel threatened because your girlfriend who's playing Ariel kissed Prince Eric is unbelievable.
No, this is honestly absurd levels of victimization, of like self-victimization. He's like, oh, I have such a hot, beautiful, talented, successful girlfriend. Feel bad for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's sad, man.
Well,
like,
it also to me just speaks to, I know I'm sitting with two straight women right now, but it speaks to the lack of options for straight women. Like, fact that she's like, oh, but he's a great guy, but I love him, when he's obviously like a baby child who's older than her, is so sad to me.
Well, hold on.
It gets worse.
So in August 2023, during an IG Live, Bailey, like that DDG was on IG Live, Halle walks in the background and people begin to speculate that she's pregnant. Everyone's like, so the whole internet's like, no, this guy's a huge loser. And he probably got her pregnant at the height of her fame to bring her down, which is something that we've seen quite often.
Which is sad that it would even do that. Like, women should be allowed to be pregnant and still be successful.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course not. That doesn't always happen.
But DDG and Halle are staunchly denying everything related to like that rumor. Even Chloe, her sister, responded and said, y'all better keep my sister's name out of your mouth. Thank you. She said in a video shared by Pop Crave. I love that.
Themed news organization, Pop Crave.
Then what happens is Bailey began wearing oversized clothing and dresses with high waistline, leading many fans to believe that she was trying to disguise what people speculate was a growing baby bump. So the pop is always seeing her wearing like large hoodies and sweatpants. And then Bailey and DDG attended the Glamour Woman of the Year Awards in London together. And she opted for a black baby doll dress with a full petticoat underneath that dramatically flared out around her midriff. So people are, again, like, and this is not like her typical style. So people are like, what's happening? So one of them,
cupcake.
One of the most ridiculous incidences is that on top of Halle beginning to wear loose-fitting clothes, fans start noticing subtle differences in her face and her facial composition, specifically how her nose looks swollen and has spread out wider.
Fans are fucking crazy.
I know.
Fans are crazy.
So when you're famous on that level, it is wild. That, like, I can't imagine being pregnant and people are like, your nose getting bigger.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is having a large nose is a possible side effect of pregnancy, as again, all parts of the body swell. And according to multiple screen grabs, Halle took to her Snapchat when someone commented pregnancy nose along with the pig nose emoji.
Not pregnancy nose, pig nose emoji.
And then she said this. She said, listen, if I see one more person say something about my nose one more time, it's going to be hell to pay. And you know why? Because I'm black and I love my nose. What is you concerned about my nose for? Leave me the hell alone. So people are like, girl, not the I'm black card for your fucking
said, shut
nose.
up.
On December 2023, DDG spends $500,000 on Christmas gifts for Halle. Gets her a bunch of fancy shit, and they do the whole haul on Instagram.
So $500,000, and they unbox it on Instagram.
Or they
Oh
do-
my
like, 'cause
god!
he's
That's
a
why we don't need a
fucking
Department of
content creator.
Education. My
He's a
god!
content creator. Okay.
Unboxing.
Then January 2024, on January 6th. Anytime people do something on January 6th, I'm like,
No,
why?
it's bad.
Wait a day.
I
Wait
know.
one day.
Wait one day. Which is sad because January 6th was my Nana's birthday, but she was gone long before it was overtaken.
January 6th is Three Kings
I know.
Day.
That's
It's
why
a
it was
big
always like
holiday in the
our
Caribbean.
Well, yeah, because like it's my Cuban grandma, and we were always like, "Oh, Nana's birthday is on Three Kings Day. It's so fun." And then I'm like, she would be so sad to see what's happened
What's
to
happened to
her
her day?
Well, Trump said it never happened, so I guess it didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
So Halle announced that she and DDG had welcomed a baby boy together on Instagram. She posted a photo of her hand holding the newborn's fist over her boyfriend's, sharing that they named their son Halo. Quote, even though we're a few days into the new year, the greatest thing that 2023 could have done for me was bring me my son, she wrote in the caption. Welcome to the world, my Halo. She added jokingly, the world is desperate to know you, wink face.
Didn't her and Chloe do a cover of Beyonce's Halo?
They probably did.
I think that I've seen
They
a video of
probably
them
did.
doing
That
it.
was like yeah. Then she released underwater maternity pics, where she did maternity pics underwater.
That rocks. I did recently see a very cute video of Halo watching Halle Bailey as Ariel.
We're gonna get
to it. Okay, I'll put a pin in it. Very cute video of Halo.
So she has a baby, releases the baby news on January 6th. Was this the first anniversary of the horrible day or the second or?
No, because 2024, the January 6th happened on the 2021, and this was 2024, so it was a 3-year anniversary.
3-year anniversary of that thing that happened.
The thing that didn't happen.
Okay, in April 2024, breakup rumors begin swirling around DDG and Bailey after they both unfollowed each other on Instagram, and they also took down most of the photos they had posted together.
Fans are watching.
However, according to TMC, a rep for Bailey reached out to clear the air and say that they're still together. The rep couldn't say why they unfollowed each other, but they're still together and they're still going strong and they're continuing to parent the 3-month-old son.
Totally. They just unfollowed each other and untagged a bunch of photos, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Couples who are still together and happy and going strong do that all the time.
Now we're going to July, which is when the couple unveiled their son's face. With again, I think she posted pictures on her Instagram and he posted a video titled, Finally Revealing My Son's Face After 6 months.
My God.
YouTube video titles will always get me.
Literally, I was just going to say that's like the YouTubeification of the internet.
Yes.
So like, finally.
Yeah.
And I can see the like little tile.
Yeah,
Like, I can
exactly.
see the son's face with like a little X over it.
And it's always like all caps.
And
like
they were all wearing like a matching white outfit and it was like cute, but whatever. Then on October 2024, on October 3rd to be specific, DDG revealed on his Instagram story that he and Bailey had broken up. He wrote in a statement, quote, after much reflection and heartfelt conversations, Haley and I decided to go our separate ways. This decision was not easy, but we believe it's the best path forward for the both of us. I cherish the time we spent together and the love we shared. Despite the changes in our relationship, our love for each other remains deep and true. We are still best friends and adore each other as we focus on our individual journeys and our roles as co-parents. We cherish the bond we've built and the beautiful moments we've shared. As we navigate this transition, we ask for your understanding and support. Thank you for your love and encouragement. Any thoughts? Well,
I mean, fucking lame.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say
I'm
about
like,
that.
interesting that it would come from him, that it's not like a joint statement posted
No.
to both Instagram stories, which I feel like is how a lot of celebrities play it now, where
Yeah.
it's like both people post at the same time, pretty much
seems
the
like it's
same
just from
thing.
him.
A collab post.
Yeah, yeah, they both collab each other.
posting their divorce. Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Yeah. Okay. So on November 2024, again, Halle calls out her ex-boyfriend, DDG, for having their 11-month-old son, Halo, on a live stream without her permission. Their co-parenting relationship soured when DDG had his son Halo with him as he joined Kai Cenat for an internet live stream. Kai Cenat is a huge live streamer. He's so popular. Millions of people watch him at the same time. He's the one who like started a riot in Times Square when he was giving away the PS5.
I do know about this. Yeah.
That's how I always explain Kai Cenat, because like we did a podcast about him and I was like, oh, I don't know who he is. And then you explained him that way to me and I was like, I do know who that is.
Oh, the day where you couldn't take the subway to Union Square because they shut it all down.
Yeah, because he started a riot and I have since had to explain him in the same way to other people. I'm like, you actually do know him. He's the guy who was giving away a PS5 in Union Square and it started a riot.
So her content creator boyfriend used their child for content.
Yes.
And she's mad.
So DDG held the little boy throughout the stream, but at one point he was seen carrying the baby in a trash bag.
What?
Image on slides.
How do you even do that?
No.
So it's like, they say trash bag. I feel like it's like also maybe, but it is a trash bag that he rolled
it like a purse.
Yeah, it's like gathered like a purse.
It looks like a Longchamp bag.
It could be a satchel of some kind.
But it's a bag. It's not a bag for a baby.
You don't put a baby in a bag.
No, it's where the baby shouldn't be in there.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
So while DDG was still live, Halle took to her ex account to share her disapproval over Halo being present. She wrote, "Hi everyone, just so you know, I'm out of town. I don't approve of my baby being on a stream tonight. I wasn't told or notified, and I'm extremely upset to have my baby in front of millions of people. I am his mother and a protector, and I'm saddened that I wasn't notified, especially when I'm out of town."
You know what this is giving? His person he has so much admiration for, Elon Musk.
I was literally just going to say
the way that Elon
He's
Musk,
giving human shield.
I know that he's parading him around and all of this stuff, and that the mothers are having to go online and be like, hey, I don't want this.
Hey, text me back.
Yeah.
Haley's post was met with mixed reaction because a lot of his fans accused her of hypocrisy because they pointed out that she regularly posts photos and videos with Halo to her own social media pages. In fact, just this week, Halle posted pictures of herself and her son dressed as Lilo and Stitch for Halloween. Halle also was criticized for taking to social media instead of privately messaging DDG about her discomfort. Others defended Halle, saying that there's a difference between planned social media posts with Halo and hours-long live stream with DDG also being called out for putting their son in a trash bag. Amid the conflicting response, Halle ended up deleting both her ex and Instagram pages entirely. She came back on probably a week or two later, but it got so hot for her. She was getting harassed so much that she had to delete her account.
Of course, it's her getting harassed and not the guy who put a baby in a trash bag.
Yeah. So what are we feeling so far?
I mean, it is different to post a clearly curated mother-son pic for Halloween versus a live stream where it's like you are making money off of the live stream and people watching it. That's how the live streams work.
It's also a totally different audience.
Totally different audience.
That she has no control over and isn't her audience.
Yeah. And also a picture is something that takes 1 second, presumably. I mean, I'm sure they took a couple, get the lighting right, whatever. It's a baby. Sometimes you got to make sure they're looking, whatever. But it's a very small amount of time. To be on a live stream for hours, inviting people to comment on your child in real time. And then the trash bag is tough.
So now we're still in December 2024. She deletes her account. She comes back on. And on December 23rd, 2024, Bailey posts photos of Halo's first birthday party on Instagram. And seems like they had squashed the beef just to have a good birthday party for him.
And he's there.
DDG is there. And the party was Coco Melon themed.
Okay.
Okay, cute.
Okay.
So why are we talking about this today?
Yeah.
What's going on? A few days ago, DDG released a video titled, "She Won't Let Me See My Son." And in it, DDG is airing out frustrations with Halle and has said that, quote, "It's been going on for a minute. I don't like talking about real life shit, but I feel like I have to. It's getting to a point where I feel like I'm honestly getting bullied when it comes to me just wanting to be a dad. While DDG says that he does spend time with his son, it's quote, it's a minimal amount. Every day or every other day, I'm trying to see him. I'm trying to get him to come over. I never get him dropped off. I always go pick up. I live far as shit. So I'm driving hours to go get him, and I get there and I can't get him or I can't see him. DDG said he didn't want to bring the matter to the internet, but he did so as a last resort. According to him, the last straw came earlier that day when he went to see Halo and was allegedly kicked out. I planned my whole day to be with him. My whole day was around that, and I get there and I was kicked out of the crib. I can't see him. I've been dealing with this forever, where I feel like I'm a secondary parent. Quote, every time I'm with him, he got a smile on his face. He's happy to see me, but he can only see me for no more than 48 hours. I haven't had the son to myself for longer than 72 hours. He's getting picked up, taken away. I can't come get him, whatever. I don't know what to do at this point. It just feels like there needs to be some kind of repercussions for this. I'm not a deadbeat dad. So let's watch a clip.
But this is foul, bro. Like, if I want to come get my son, I should be able to get my son. Plain and simple. And I wasn't even coming to take him. Like today, I wasn't even going to take him out because he's sick. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to just grab my son and go hang out with him downstairs. Me and her don't really speak like that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to take my son, go hang out downstairs. Whoop. I'm getting kicked out. No. Like it's conversations where it's like, that said to me is so, if heard it, it's on some leave us alone type. I'm like, bro, like, now I can see if I, like, no in the world can tell me that I'm a deadbeat or a bad dad. No in the world can ever say that to me. If my son can talk, he'd tell you my pops is the realest ever. This me. I wish I can be around him more. I don't get the chance to, bro. It's not cool. Like, it's like, all right, like I have never took my son out of the state before. Never been able to. I don't have permission. Like, it's like I have a second mom. Like, I got to ask my second mom, hey, can I take my son? Can I take our son somewhere? But if she want to get up and leave the country and leave the state, I get no say-so whatsoever. I can't say one word. Because she tell me that she the primary parent. Like, it's like, bro, it's not cool, bro. It's not fair, bro. Like, I promise you, I swear on my life, on my soul, on my son, I never wanted to come on here and say no shit like this.
So, yeah, basically, it's that for 11 minutes.
And him talking about what his son could say if he could speak.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of a baby saying, my pops is the realest N-word in the game.
I think he was saying maybe that his dad is, or I don't know.
No, he was saying if my son could speak, he would tell you.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so I do like the idea of a baby saying that.
And he kept going on like, and I don't see him enough, and I love him, and I want to see him. That's what he would say, which is so crazy.
And he says that he's never said publicly, like this is his first time ever saying that because he wants to protect Halle's golden image. But this shit is foul. So what are we thinking so far?
I just feel like there's something missing.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, like, you don't get to be a Disney princess level of famous with that kind of legal team. And you're just like, oh no, you can't see him. And there's nothing to back it up. Like, primary parent is like a legal designation. Like,
yeah.
There's a reason why she's the primary parent and he's not telling us that.
Yeah,
and you don't get to just pick up your kid whenever you want and take him anywhere.
That's what flagged to me is he's like, she says she's the primary parent. And I'm like, I feel like the court said that.
Yeah, I'm like, I think a lawyer said that.
Yeah, I think perhaps a judge ruled that she's the primary parent. Because that's my whole thing about this is I'm like, what's your custody agreement? And if you're having these problems and you want your custody agreement changed, you've got money, dude. Like, you can go to family court and get this worked out. So that's what's confusing me. He's saying that she has all of this control. But if that is the case, that's because that is probably their legal custody agreement. and that was created for some kind of reason. And if he wants to challenge it in court and change the custody agreement, it's his right to do that. But like that is the forum where this issue would actually get resolved, not a YouTube video that's like, she won't let me see my son.
Mhm.
Yeah, so basically the backlash is like a lot of people have been dragging DDG, saying that like what you said of like, why are you bringing this to the internet when you should be bringing it to court? You should be having these things settled in court. And then other people have speculated that the reason why they don't want to go to court is because then that's when probably Halle would make some kind of stipulation of you can't stream with him anymore, or he can't appear in your content. And he doesn't want that. And another thing that's fundamental to this that a lot of people have been pointing out and has been a big part of the conversation is like that this is just how co-parenting works. Like
literally,
this is what, like, even if you have a good relationship with someone, like you can't just pop in on your like co-parent thing, and like you are gonna miss like when they're sick and all that stuff. Like that is the nature of it.
It's called scheduling.
It's called scheduling. And then yeah, like, and this is why people say like this is why, you know, you shouldn't really have kids with someone that you don't want to spend time with, or that you don't see yourself ending up with for a long time because of this reason, you know? And I think like a lot of people are like, a lot of your complaints could be solved in court.
It is also funny that his followers came for Halle and said like, oh, you shouldn't be talking about this streaming thing. You should have just DM'd him or whatever, even though that is something that does feel a little more immediate, like, I know this stream is going on and I don't approve of it type situation. Whereas what he's bringing online, there is actually a legal forum to bring these complaints if you want to get these problems solved. I am sure he can afford a pretty good lawyer. I don't know if he can get Halle Bailey's lawyer, but I'm sure he can afford a pretty good lawyer that, like, if he actually wanted to change the custody agreement and hammer out different things, that could be done. And one other thing that I'm thinking is he's like, well, my son was sick, so I just stopped by. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of get being like, he's sick right now.
Yeah.
That now isn't the time for you guys to be like hanging out and dicking around. It's actually like he's a sick baby.
Yeah.
I also feel like there's a lot of misogyny in the comment about him being like, I feel like I have two moms. Like, she's not your mom. She's the woman that you had a baby with.
That's younger than you.
Sorry, she's acting like a mom because she's a fucking mom to this kid and she's trying to look after him, and you don't just get to come in and be the fun parent whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like, that whole fantasy he has about his son's inner monologue. Like, you're imagining that because you're like, I pick up my son every week and I take him to Shake Shack or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he has so much fun with me, but not with his bitch mommy.
Yeah.
Like, that's just gross to me. She's not your mom.
And a lot of people speculated that the reason why, again, he came to the internet and not to a court is because he doesn't, it's unclear if he actually wants to like solve this legally, or he just wants her to get harassed off social media, which his fans have done already in the past. So,
and all this stuff does not look good for him if he were to take it to court.
Well, exactly, because that's what people are saying. They would show his live streams, because when he's not with the kid, or he does live stream, but he also does a lot of live stream with a lot of women and like going on dates with women, and like he's a vlogger, like it's corny. So Halle would be like, yeah, well, look at his content, whatever. So as this went viral, people were noticing that Bailey hasn't posted anything on social media about any of the comments. And then a video resurfaced that Halle warned fans a few days before that she's going to take a social media break because her and her son are sick with RSV, which is an upper respiratory virus that mainly affects the nose, throat, and lungs. And if you don't know RSV, that's the illness that the Mormon wife had when her son was in the NICU and she did that crazy dance.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah, so if we go to the next slide, we can see Halle talking about it.
Which is also super contagious.
RSV is really serious in infants. And so, yeah, I totally understand if both you and your son have RSV, that you're not like gonna have this guy come over so they can hang out in the basement or whatever he wanted to do. Like, it's just actually not a good time for that.
Literally not a good time.
me and Halo are very sick. We have RSV and we do not feel good at all. So sorry, I haven't been posting snaps, but I've just been using all my energy to take care of my baby and myself. Yeah, any mommies have any tips for this cold? We both have fevers on and off. We went to the doctor yesterday. She gave us medicine, she just told us to rest, lots of fluids, everything. But any other tips would be welcome and needed. Love you guys.
Okay, can I immediately say that there is a comment on this Instagram reel from 8 minutes ago from someone called Chatterboss 2025 that says, so because he has RSV, he can't see his daddy, SMH. And my answer to Chatterboss 2025 is, yeah, literally, yes. Literally, yes. The baby is very sick with a seriously contagious illness that it would not be helpful for then his other parent to also get RSV because he's in a house with 2 people who have it.
Yeah, and I'm not a doctor, but sometimes I pretend to be.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that RSV is one of those ones that you can get reinfected with. Too.
Yeah.
So if he gets sick and then they're better and then he hangs out with him, the kid might get sick again because he's a little fucking kid and his immune system's messed up. Like,
yeah. And it's also like in his video, he was like, I was just going to come in and hang out. It's different than if he was like, I was going to come in and offer some support because my son needs help and my, his mom is sick. So I was going to try to like bring some medicine.
I was going to make him soup.
Yeah. I was going to clean for them or something. Like he wasn't offering any material help. He was just going to take a sick baby and hang out with it.
Yeah. And like what we didn't hear in the video was that they're not even on speaking terms. Like they have to talk through a different member of the family. So if they're on such crazy terms that they're not even talking, then yeah, you can't just go to her house unannounced and then try to hang out at her house. She doesn't fucking like you.
She doesn't want you there.
She doesn't want you at her house.
She's sick too. She's sick.
And I also just want to point out, like, his video is, like, bitching and complaining about how horrible this woman is and how she's keeping his kid away from him. And her video is like, I've been sick. Anybody have tips for looking after sick kids? Like, she's genuinely concerned about the kid's welfare and, like, how can I help my kid when we're both sick? And he's just like, bitch won't let me see her or see him. It's like, grow up.
Yeah, well, let's wrap it up with the backlash to the backlash. DDG released a diss track.
No, a diss track for the mother of his child?
Yes, a diss track for the mother of his child. And it's called Don't Take My Son.
Don't take my son, cause he all I got. I'm just having fun. I don't love these stocks. You tell me that you gon' move on, but I know you not. Tryna make me pay to see my son. They gon' make me hot, that'll make me pissed, that'll make me sick. Playing games like Twitch, get the green like Kick. And it's not about the money, it's more about the principle. You know I'm rich, cause he only a baby and he getting big. I don't wanna miss nothing. He playing the game with Wap's cousin. Can you make a bottle right now? He fuck.
Okay.
All right. That was underwhelming.
It was very underwhelming. And I do think it's doubly messed up that he's using a picture of the son as a, like, image for the song.
For the YouTube track? Yeah, 100%. Also, like, it's not like she's charging him to see the baby like the baby's a roller coaster or something. He's not a carnival ride. I'm sure it's child support.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to get at is that he's trying to do the whole bitter baby mama thing of like, I don't want to be with you or we're not together. Therefore, you're punishing me. Yeah. You're going to make me pay for my sins by not letting me see my son. So some responses where one person shared, at first I was with DDG about fathers not being able to see their children because of bitter bitches. But now he's doing too much. If you're able to make a fucking song, you're able to take Halle to court to get your son.
Literally, though.
Another person added, DDG made a song about not taking his son. Man say, dude seems immature as fuck, but he know how to capitalize off some shit.
Literally.
A third person opined, DDG took his business with Halle on Twitch, where he gets paid, posted a YouTube video about it where he gets paid, previewed a song about it that will be monetized when released. This is all planned out for money, attention, and control, and it's obvious as fuck because he won't go to court.
Literally.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, you're making money off the streams, you're making money off the YouTube video, you're making money off the song. You are trying to make money off of this situation instead of, if you actually wanted to fix this, you would take her to court and get your custody agreement changed. If that's what you actually want, there is literally a legal process that is outlined and available to you that you 100% have the resources to access. This isn't, the power imbalance between the two of them isn't so crazy that he can't afford to do that. Like, he has money, access to lawyers, time, energy. He could just get their custody agreement changed if that's what he actually wants.
But you're so right that it's probably a situation where if he actually did that, then the custody agreement would include that he can't use the kid in his fucking content.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want that.
And so a lot of people are speculating, one, that like that viral video of when the baby Halo recognizes his mom as Ariel in Little Mermaid. Like he looks at, there's a very cute video, like Elise mentioned, that went super viral.
I've seen it
where
too.
he says, "Mama, mama" to the thing. And some people speculated that that was like the inciting incident. And he said, when I post my baby, it gets more views and it gets more likes and it gets more engagement on my content. So he doesn't want to lose that.
I feel like all of this just goes to show the different tier of celebrity that they are, that even if you are an enormous YouTube celebrity, you have to be able to mine your life for content.
Yeah.
And Halle Bailey does not need to do that. Halle Bailey can post the occasional picture of her and her kid for Halloween.
Yeah.
She does not need to show her kid's face or to stream with her kid to stay relevant or make money or any of that stuff. And he actually does need to do those things.
Yeah. And like, I guess as we wrap this up, I was just kind of thinking, like, this is something too, like, I don't know. I feel like as a comedian and like dating and stuff, people are like, or just in general, people are always like, well, don't use this on your set, or you can use this on your set, or like whatever.
It's
and
always
like,
the most boring thing.
and
So
it's
they're like,
always
you
the
can
most
use this
boring
in your
thing.
set. I'm like, what, that you don't like garlic?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I was at a party the other day. This guy's like, oh, the other day, like, I walked by a pile of shit and it looked human. And I'm like, ew, why the fuck are you telling me this? Like, you could use it in your set. And I'm like, what do you want me to say? You want me to get on stage to a paying audience and say, hey, I was at this party and this guy told me that he saw shit that he's not sure was human.
Yeah. In New York City.
In New York City. Like, like, actually, that is pretty funny. But I'm just
That was a bad
thinking-
example. That was a bad
example. That's actually, like, but also, like, that is on its own is not that funny. Anyway, but, like, I'm just, like, there's all this cautionary tale about not dating comedians and stuff, but, like, at its core, like, at least a good comedian will take some, like, you mine your life. Everyone mines their life for art. But again, it's this way, it's this way that's filtered through their experience and reflection and all this stuff versus like a content creator that just streams constantly and like they make, or, you know, like the podcasters that put their life at the center of everything. It's just interesting. And I'm like, yeah, this is something that you have to be on the lookout for. What kind of content does a person that you get involved with do?
Yeah. And I mean, it totally, it also, the added layer of the kid is this whole other ethical question of like, we exist in a world now where like those videos of that kid is going to be on LinkedIn.
I think that Halle Bailey, because of her level of fame and because her fame is derived from a completely different revenue source, she has the thought of like, I want to be really judicious with how much my child is online and how he's presented online. It seems like she's not a person who's like, we don't show his face at all. But it seems like, you know, she wants to show in a curated, specific way.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy wants to use his baby to make more money on his streams and his videos.
Wants to mine him for content.
And I think, too, there is a real conversation they could have had. Instead of like, she won't let me see my son, it's like, co-parenting is really hard. Yeah. Here's the thing, like, I didn't know that it meant that, like, I can't just go see him whenever I want. Like, I want this kid in my life, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a really hard adjustment to go from seeing him every day. That is a different conversation that I'm sure would have sparked a really different reaction.
He would have gotten a lot more sympathy for that.
He would have gotten so much sympathy and all this stuff. And Halle might have still gotten haters, but it would have been, but it's just somebody who's not thinking anything through.
Okay. Speaking of harm to children.
No.
And people who are maybe not thinking things all the way through. It is time for our final segment. Mm-hmm. This segment is called Grasshole of the Week. Mm-hmm. This is where we name the person, people, businesses, whomever that need to log off the most. I do not think in the history of this podcast it has ever been a more literal, girl, get offline, log off, delete the accounts, sign off than today, because today's Grasshole is Casey Anthony.
He's online?
Oh.
Girl. Friend. Yes.
Oh, she's online.
She's online.
She's online.
We got DMs. We got a comment
from
on
her?
No, not from. Oh my God! Imagine Casey Anthony's DM. We got several DMs about it, and we also just got a comment on a random video, totally unrelated. Someone just said Casey Anthony's on TikTok, and I was like, we'll address it. We'll address it. Like, you need to know. It's just totally unrelated video, but someone was like, Casey Anthony's on TikTok, and I just responded, we don't love it.
Yeah. We don't love it.
Wait, I'm a true crime girly, but I don't really remember the Casey Anthony story.
Yeah, okay. I was saying I was studying abroad when that happened, so I missed it.
So I made the executive decision that we're not going to go so deep into the Casey Anthony of it all, because that information is available and there's a lot. But Casey Anthony was acquitted in 2008 for the murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee Anthony. But many people, I would say perhaps even the majority of people, believe that she was actually responsible for Kaylee's death. The broad strokes are that she went missing. Casey Anthony's parents called the police because they smelled what smelled like a decomposing body in the trunk of her car. Casey initially said that her daughter had been kidnapped by her nanny. She tried to blame it on the nanny, but then it came out that Casey had kind of been like out partying, doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, if that's the right term, bit of Casey Anthony lore is that one of her alibis that she gave was that she was working at Universal Studios at the time.
Yeah, very Florida.
And then the cops were like, okay, so take us to your office at Universal Studios. And she was like, okay. And so she drives with the cops all the way to Universal Studios, walks with them to the office building, goes into the office, basically gets as far as you can get before you're gonna need a key fob, and then turns around and is like, so I don't work at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
There's a ton of evidence that is very suspicious that links her to the death of Kaylee, but ultimately she was acquitted because, number one, the Kaylee's body was never found. Hey y'all, Elise here with one of my classic pop-ins. I actually misspoke in this moment. Kaylee Anthony's body was found, but the cause of death was ruled homicide by undetermined means. So it was never actually established what her cause of death was. And that's actually what I meant when I was talking here. And that's why I don't do a true crime podcast. So, okay, great. Back to the episode. It's hard to get a conviction for straight up murder when you cannot actually prove that the person was murdered. So a lot of people say that if they had perhaps charged her with manslaughter, she would be in jail. Either way, this was an enormous case at the time. Nancy Grace
Nancy
keeps her
Grace.
foot on
blast.
Casey Anthony's neck to this day. Put a pin in Nancy Grace
Put a pin
discourse.
in Nancy Grace.
Love her.
Casey Anthony, as a result of that, became, at least at that time, probably the most hated woman in America.
It's hard. It gets changed every day. I mean, some would say Halle was recently
But
Monica
Casey,
Lewinsky.
I was just gonna say, I literally was like Monica, Casey,
Casey
Amanda
certainly occupied that space, and I think for better reason than literally any of the women that you just basically all of the women that you just listed actually didn't do anything.
Yeah, but Casey
allegedly, she's acquitted. She was found not guilty, but
at the very least, she lied about working at Universal
she
Studios.
definitely
which is
lied about working at
egregious.
Universal Studios, and something was stinking up the trunk of her car.
I feel like the secret theme of this episode is how hard parenting is.
Well,
Yeah, that parenting is difficult.
Yeah.
So, okay, the internet basically exploded this week when Casey Anthony started a TikTok. She started not just a TikTok, she's also on Substack.
She's on Substack?
She started a TikTok
She's
and a
writing
Substack.
essays.
So as of right now, the TikTok only has 2 posts, and one is a screenshot of her Substack with a bio that reads, "It has been more than 16 years since my name became a household one. Everyone seems to have an opinion about me and my life. I'm an advocate, a researcher. These are my words. This is my real life. Signed, C.A."
An advocate and a researcher.
Okay, so a note on that, because I was like, why does she keep saying this? So she has been working as an assistant for Patrick McKenna, who is a high-profile private investigator who worked on her case and also the O.J. Simpson case. And she's been working for him in some capacity since 2022. So we're going to watch the video she posted in a minute, but like she's referring to herself as a legal advocate, and that's what she is referring to.
Okay.
And she's working with someone who famously only works with people who are not guilty.
Yeah.
So the TikTok that's just her Substack has 3.8 million views. I did go to the Substack. She has no full posts yet, but there is one restacked post from something called the Women Post titled, "Reports emerge of MAGA men groups infiltrating LGBTQ plus communities across all 50 states with alleged violent intent." So I guess she's anti-Trump.
Okay.
Least she could do.
I mean,
she votes in Florida, so no, she can vote because she was acquitted. So I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
She can vote, yeah. She can vote, but if you steal a Snickers a million years ago,
you can't.
You can't. Then she also has, I guess what would be considered on Substack a note. Like, it's not a full post, but it's...
Do we have to get Substack accounts?
We can't get into... I'll do a brief deviation to talk about Substack in a minute, but so it's like a it's not a post. She doesn't have any posts, but this is a note, I guess, of Substack's terms of service, and her like caption on it is, "We should all be aware of what the terms of use are for every social media account, as well as the privacy policies. This is why I chose this platform above many others." The post has 106 likes and 65 comments. This is the first comment from Matthew Goldsmith. "Her not guilty finding, not of innocence, directly resulted from Casey Anthony's panoply of lies, including false accusations of kidnapping and murder against Kaylee's nanny, Zenaida Fernandez-Gonzalez, and her own father, George Anthony." Side note, we do have a good friend who believes it was George Anthony that killed her.
Oh my God.
The only person in the world that I know that believes that, but okay. "When coupled with a lack of evidence as to Casey's whereabouts when Kaylee was murdered, a logically sound argument of reasonable doubt was fabricated. And additionally, when her attorneys, Jose Baez, delivered a highly skilled and persuasive way, blah, blah, blah." Casey responds to this. "Hi, Matthew. I would hope that from someone who is an attorney and part of our legal system, that you would speak to respecting a jury's verdict." So if you go next, we'll see Casey Anthony is in the comments of this Substack. She is responding to people. I have one more that made me laugh so hard. Again, Casey is responding to all comments.
Oh my God.
From Chrissy. "There is so much I wanted to say and ask you. But first, what's your beef with Gypsy Rose Blanchard?"
Oh my
Laughing
gosh.
emoji. Casey responds, "Hi, Chrissy. I don't know Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I have never spoken to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, nor do I have any intention of speaking to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, unless she is like many of you who are reaching out for help. I can't speak to what anyone else is doing or why. That is not my intention or my concern, not unless it is in relation to our government, our legal system, and the impact it has on the American people. So that's her Substack. She's in the comments, and she hasn't even posted yet.
Yeah.
This is on a note she posted about Substack's terms of service, and she's already in the comments.
And I don't like the comparison of Gypsy Rose because in all ways she is not. Gypsy Rose accepted accountability, went to jail, served out her term, and she did in fact kill her mom, and she told everyone she did.
And she was abused.
And she was abused for a million
That girl
years.
didn't even know what her fucking age was.
She
when
didn't
went
know
to
what her
prison.
age was. She doesn't have any of her real teeth, blah, blah, blah. I mean,
Gypsy Rose
poisoned her for over a decade.
Yeah.
Gypsy Rose
for
is a
clout.
totally different
Exactly.
situation.
Yeah.
Gypsy Rose is a totally different situation.
How dare for Gypsy
Obviously.
Rose.
And
Giving lawyer in the comments,
so
by the way.
that's kind of the vibe that she's trying to put forward in general. So this is the Substack, but I would say the thing that got way more attention is this pretty much immediately infamous TikTok that she posted of herself talking to camera in her car. As of today, it has 5.8 million views and has been shared over 65,000 times. Comments are off. And so she's not in the comments of that one. We are now going to watch this TikTok from Casey Anthony. It is 3 minutes long. I think we should watch the whole thing to get the entire vibe.
Today is a Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car. And I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time and we'll see how this goes.
Thoughts about Casey Anthony? First of all, I do have to ask Tessa, do you accept her as an advocate for the LGBTQ.
I was just about to say, as an LGBTQ, obviously we need advocates more than ever now.
More than ever in unprecedented times.
Unprecedented times, yeah. And I just personally don't really see how Casey Anthony is going to help America be more comfortable with queer and trans people. I love that she was like, and I want to spread my message about LGBTQ people. Says nothing about it.
Yeah,
doesn't
I know.
say
What message?
advocacy. What are you talking about? What is your message?
Yeah. There's a lot of talking about.
That was word salad.
Yeah, it was word salad, but it's like, what do you do as a legal advocate? Like, what does that even fucking mean? Are you are you working with the Innocence Project trying to get things reversed? Are you trying to, like, if she's like, hey, I was accused of something I didn't do, and like now I'm gonna help other people, like that at least
wrongfully accused.
You were wrongfully accused or whatever. She's just saying like there was so much attention on me and whatever, but like I'm gonna use my voice to say a message. Bitch, what's the fucking message?
Yes, what is the message?
It's
tattoo sucked.
Her tattoos fucking blow.
What was that?
It's very strange. Also, I will say, given the details of her particular case, I think saying your guys are going to get very comfortable with my car.
Yeah, I know. That one got me.
That's not, I personally don't want to be getting comfortable with Casey Anthony's car.
No.
And the last thing that to kind of before we tell her to log off, which she must do.
She must log off.
Is she working for Substack? What is going on?
Yeah, because her handle is Casey Anthony underscore Substack. So I wonder if she's like a preferred Substack partner or something like that, because
it seems like a lot of it is about the Substack, because the first post was to go to the Substack. The way she talks about Substack in the video is very strange. The one note that she has is about how good Substack's terms of service are. One note that I will make about Substack is that a lot of people actually left that platform in 2024 over content moderation issues after The Atlantic posted an expose into growing networks of white nationalists on the platform, which people then criticized Substack for because, like, those white nationalists were having paid subscriptions. Substack takes a cut of those paid subscriptions. So people are like, okay, you're making money
off of
these people. Yeah. I personally know a lot of people who still use Substack as a platform, so I don't have any like super fully formed thoughts about any of that. But the way that she talks about Substack makes me feel like she works for Substack or something.
Yeah, that I think like it's a paid partnership, because I see this with Twitter a lot where people are like, for example, people who don't agree with Twitter and want you to follow them on Blue Sky will change their name, like their handle name to, like, for example, Elise Morales on Blue Sky, and then to like encourage you to go there instead of where you are. So that's what she has on her TikTok. So that makes me feel like it's just monetized in a super profitable way, or maybe she's a paid contributor, but I'm just like, yuck.
Yeah.
It felt like she was talking about being a legal advocate, but the only thing that she advocated for was Substack.
Right.
Which feels fucking weird.
Right. Again, it seems like I don't know what her message is, because like with the Amanda Knox of it all, she's very clear that she is about talking about wrongfully convicted people.
Yeah.
That's her whole thing. She brings people on to her podcast. She is a legal advocate for that. That's her.
And people who were like canceled.
Yeah,
she interviewed Bean Dad.
Yes, I remember that she came up in the Bean Dad episode. So she's in this world of like people who society has villainized, quote unquote, wrongfully. Her POV of her public persona is very clear. This was bizarre. She's like, I'm a legal advocate. I'm an advocate for the LGBTQ community. Kind of vague references to the Trump era. Stuff about privacy. Go to my Substack. I'm like,
what I got from all of that was like, she's a legal advocate, meaning she had to learn how to advocate for herself when she felt as though she were wrongfully convicted.
Yes.
Oh, want to advocate for the LGBTQ community. I guarantee you in a month, we're going to learn that Casey Anthony's bi. Like, it's just, there's going to be something there. And then I want to advocate for privacy. It's like, I feel as though, I mean, we obviously all have huge privacy concerns.
Yeah.
But when you don't even name any of them, it's like, are you talking about the government spying on us? Or are you talking about us sharing things that can be used against us later in a court of law if we were to accidentally kill our daughter?
Or like data sharing. Like, are these social media platforms using our data in nefarious ways? Again, she doesn't get.
Well, there's huge actual concerns, but it's just like if you say a topic title and then don't say anything about it afterwards, that doesn't make you an advocate.
Yeah. My final question for the two of you is, if a large number of people believed that you had killed your child, would you be face on TikTok?
No.
I mean, TikTok is good. I mean, I'm going to be watching it for sure.
Oh,
but
lurking. Certainly.
Lurking, but am I going to be like, hey, it's me. It's me, the girl who might have killed my kid. Probably not.
I mean, whose mind are you going to change? Like, your entire business was already aired out for everybody. People are going to have their opinions, whether they're positive or negative. I don't think you filming something in your car is going to change that.
No, and she's certainly not someone who's been like vindicated in the court of public opinion since. People pretty much still feel the way they feel about that case. So, and I can't believe this is the way we always construct our Go Touch Grasses, and I've been thinking a lot about how I want to frame this. For the crime of trying to monetize a Substack based on your acquittal under dubious circumstances of maybe killing your own child, we're gonna have to say, Casey Anthony, go touch grass. Girl, log off.
Log off.
Delete the accounts.
Do the work without needing the public attention for it.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
God.
I love when people tell on themselves.
Oh,
there's gonna be little Easter eggs there. Narcissists can't, they love this shit.
Yeah,
they
they're
tell
already
way too much.
Just watch DDG's fucking thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing happens to that baby, but I'm just saying, like, if you want a narcissist TV, you can just go to DDG.
We got it on lock right there.
And speaking of narcissist TV, Tessa, where can everyone follow you?
Yeah.
Where can all of our listeners find you, follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Tessa fucking Skara, and everywhere else, like on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody's the Midwest. You're from Canada. What
I'm
the
from
hell?
Canada. Oh, and on TikTok, on TikTok, I'm at Tessa Skara. And
how
like
do you
every
spell
other.
Skara?
Oh, it's Skara.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it's pronounced like mascara.
Mm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Everyone, you can follow me at Pandalise on Instagram, at Elise Navidad on TikTok. And this podcast at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything.
And you can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and at Millie Tamaris on Twitter and Blue Sky and Lemonade and Red Note for those 2 weeks and everything. And am I going to have to fucking get an account? I don't know. Follow me everywhere, please.
And on Substack soon.
And then
And
until next time, go touch grass.
That was a HeadGum podcast.